guys, welcome back to Old Pecan Homestead. We are here at the Harn Homestead in Oklahoma City, and we are taking a field trip, so we're going to walk around and go on a tour here in a minute, and we'll kind of just show you guys around the place as we go along. Follow us.
This is the remaining, to the wind, 10 acres of what was an 1889 land run farm. And if you live in the Northern Oklahoma City, Edmond, Guthrie area, probably where your home is built is at one time someone's land run farm. Now Tulsa, and I'll get into this in a minute, totally different history. And first of all, my name is David Sapper, and you can just call me Mr. David, and I want to welcome everybody to the Harn. On this beautiful day we have in November. A lot of people come out here to the Harn and think Oklahoma had this 1889 land run, and everyone got a farm and it became a state. It's much more complicated and interesting. Oklahoma was originally the territory of the Kiowa, the Kickapoo, the Osage, and the Osage, and well, I forget the fourth nation, but this was their original territory. But in 1830, the United States government granted to the Cherokee, the Seminole, the Creek, the Choctaw, and the Chickasaw all of Oklahoma, and the treaty read as long as the rivers run and the grass grows green. But after the Civil War, the federal government, it was called Indian Territory, after the Civil War, the federal government wanted to move more tribal nations into Oklahoma, and between the Civil War and the land of 1889, they moved almost 77 tribal nations into Oklahoma. And today we have 39 sovereign native nations in Oklahoma, and that's why when you're driving on the interstate, you off of Tulsa, well, for instance, if you go west of Oklahoma City, the interstate will say entering the Cheyenne Arapaho Nation. If you go east of Oklahoma City, it'll say entering the Kickapoo Nation. And if you go to Tulsa, there's no place not under the Osage, Cherokee, or the Muskogee Nation. Now, if you come from way back in Oklahoma, you might descend from one or more of those tribal nations or the people who made the land run. And another quick detail, after the Civil War and up to 1889, for some reason this area where they had the 89 land run had not been given to a tribe, thus it's called the unassigned lands. And you get this group called the Boomers, you know, the Boomers. And they came in and they tried squatting illegally on this land, and for 10 years the federal government ran them off, but finally they got enough power in Congress that they said on April 22nd, 1889, they're going to have a land run. And the reason they did the land run is there were 10,160 acre farms and 50,000 people wanting those farms. And you had, after the land run, it was a mess. There was as many as 25 people claiming farm, and it took years in court to determine the winner. Well, after that, the federal government again broke treaty with these tribal nations who said every tribal member, they had all this extra land, they said, every tribal member who registers gets 160 acres. And then they forced the tribes to sell their extra land and had another 4 land runs for the total of 5. And by 1906, we were poised to be a state because the land was in private ownership. And the last promise broken to the 5 original tribes, the Cherokee, the Seminole, the Creek, the Chickasaw, and the Choctaw. They were told that if they divided up their land and sold off their excess, that eastern Oklahoma would be its own state. It was supposed to be the state of Sequoia and the state of Oklahoma, in western Oklahoma. But Teddy Roosevelt broke that promise. He wanted Oklahoma to come in as one state, and that's what happened. Now, this is more for the grown-ups. Don't climb on anything, little one. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. What happened was the Supreme Court has ruled that eastern Oklahoma is all preservation. It never changed its status. And the tribes have regained some of their broken treaty promises. So Oklahoma's really complicated, but here's what's interesting. If you come from way back in Oklahoma, you might descend from one or more of the tribal nations and or people who made the land run. So any tribal nations or land run people in the group, raise your hand. Parents too. I'm a Cherokee citizen from my mom's folks, and my dads were ranchers from East Banks from the Chickasaws. You're Osage. What are you 15? Okay. Anyone else? I was born on June 15th. Okay, anybody? Yes. Cherokee, my cousin here. Anybody else? Anyone come from the land runs?
Both Cherokee and land run.
Land run, both. That's very common. And so Oklahoma is not everything you think up front. It's more complicated. Now today, we're going to be learning how people live on the farm.
Face the schoolhouse. 7 here. How old are you?
When you come in, you all are going to fall off. Slates in your desk, salt on top, all kinds of stuff. But, you're not to touch anything. We're going to go by the old rules. Children should be seen and not heard unless spoken to. You only have about 30 minutes to do a full day's of school. Fold your hands in front of you on top of your desk and sit forward and wait to see what I tell you, okay? So give me a minute, and if you could lead the girls in, and if you could lead the boys in, and you take them all the way to the front, and sit there and keep your desk in the place and still and desk. And parents, you can sit in the desk, fill in the girls' side, okay? Lift hard. There you go. Put your hand on your heart. Get out. Stand out in the row. Stand out in the row. There you go. I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. You may be seated. Hold your hands in front of you, eyes on me. Yes. The pledge is a little bit different from the one we read. It was written in 1891 or 91 by what do you call it? Baptist minister and he wanted this could be used in Mexico, Canada, the United States, but it finally caught on in the United States, and we made it our own pledge in the 1920s, and then in 1957 we added one nation under God. And we did that. This isn't true of Russia today, but back then, Russia, you were not allowed to practice a religion. You couldn't be a Christian, a Muslim, Hindu. And so we put one nation under God because we have freedom of religion in this country. That people are allowed to worship God. So that's why we did it. The next thing they would have done, the one from the schoolhouse, is they would have had a prayer. And when I was in grade school, we read from the Old Testament and said the Lord's Prayer. I need everybody to sit up. Don't look at your desk. Hold your hands in front of you as you're able. Thank you. Thank you. What they do now in school, because you have many different religious faiths represented in the classroom, Jewish, Hindu, Christian, Catholic, Protestant, they have, in Oklahoma, they have a minute of silence where everyone prays according to what they were raised with at home, what their upbringing is. So we got that out of the way. Now, one thing has not changed: reading, writing, and arithmetic. And you all, the way you all learn is you get printed papers to work with. This is all homeschool, right? Yeah. And so you'll get a printed sheet, like in math, if you're working on your addition, and you'll write your name here. Maybe you don't have to write your name because you're at home, but you write your name and then 1 plus 0 and 1 plus 1 and fill in the answers and turn it in. We couldn't do that in the old days. But they had this miracle called the slate. And what they could do with the slate was they could write, the teacher would say, we're going to do our ones, and the first grader sat at the front, and then you had the second up to 8th grade. They didn't have high school back then. And you had 1 plus 0, and you write largely, and then you write your answer, and you just hold it in front of your chest like this. And because I'm elevated up here, I can read all the slates. I just have to walk around. You don't have to do this to show them. You just hold them like this. And I can read all the slates. So I want you all to take out your slates real quickly. They're in your desk, and everyone should have a little piece of chalk.
I can do it's just my feet. Every time I walk, my feet fall off. Oh, you can't do it. You gotta hold it up like. Careful. You're like. I'm gonna try to.
Good job! Did you want to play some more? Or are you done playing? Have you tried doing the...
Did I hear sing contest? Here, hammer it in. Here, dude, do you want to see how I do it? Dude, watch. This is how I do it, right? Dude.
That barns.
Oh, the kids are already.
Shin barn.
What's back here? No!
It's kind of neat. But it was. And every now and then you'll still see one of those polar bears sitting on a block of ice. And that's left over from back in the 40s and 50s.
He says, what is this? Oh, it's ginger. Ginger. Mom, what is this for? Mom.
What?
So we need all the corn we can get.
And that's your friend. If you look at the bag at home now, you'll see how fine it is. And that's why. Now this one here is
Look how big that window is.
Huge window.
Dude, right here. This is it.
It's all coming out.
Alright guys, so that was it for the Harn Homestead. We had a pretty good time. Hopefully the boys learned some things, and we hope you enjoyed following along. A lot of great history there, and it's pretty cool to see everything. So they are open to the public, so if you're ever in Oklahoma City, go check it out. And we will catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.